Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We have a plethora of roadmap updates for you today with Alpha 3.17, the end of Q1, end of March patch, the 3.18 patch as well, which is the Q2 patch, and beyond that with the progress tracker. We've got things like the RSI Apollo medical ship. They've started to turn up, which is pretty hype. Let's take a look at the locked-in features for Alpha 3.17, which we're expecting in around 6 weeks' time, actually on the PTU servers, sooner than that, I suppose. So they've confirmed various features now for Alpha 3.17. So these basically have passed their final review and are locked in, they're committed. These are mining gadgets, which allow the purchase and placement of FPS gadgets that you need to place on an asteroid that you want to mine. You will then need to configure them to the right frequency. These will enable you to mine the rock more easily or with more yield based on the gadget that you're using. There are several different types available. You'll then want to mine that with your prospector or your mining ship, and this is going to allow you to potentially tackle more rocks from the prospector if you're doing like solo play, and yeah, it can open up a lot more gameplay to you, but it's also going to make you vulnerable while you leave your ship to place those mining gadgets. We've got ship-to-ship refueling as well. This is a big addition to gameplay. It allows the Starfarer to carry both quantum and hydrogen fuel that can be sold to players or otherwise used to refuel them, though this might not be tied into the beacon system in its first iteration, so you might actually have to go and see someone that needs fuel talk about it in the chat, or they'll give you a different beacon that you can then go and respond to them as. So maybe they'll give you a combat assist beacon. So you take your Starfarer over to them, you'll be able to set the prices of the fuel, players will be able to dock with the fuel arm on the Starfarer, and then you'll pump the fuel across by adjusting the amount sent per second. So this is reasonably involved, and you get paid for the actual fuel that you've moved across, because obviously there might be an emergency detach if you go into combat or something weird happens. It's reasonably involved as a game mechanic, and I'm expecting some general fuel updates at the same time. Selling items to shops expands out what can be sold, allowing you to get FPS weapons, armor, gear, and then sell them at kiosks. This gives you reasons to loot, search, collect bodies, maximize your Alpha UEC from all sources, and start collecting things and putting them in your ships and inventories today. Now, if this also comes with a suitable economy update, then Star Citizen could be in a very good place when it comes to gameplay and things to do. There are DNA head updates as well here, so we should see more better looking NPCs with more variants and players with more customization choices. The Lorville Hospital, Maria Pure of Heart, is being added, so Lorville, that will have, and Hurston, that planet will have all the medical facilities that you need, and that medical location will be opened up. There is also the coffee shop vendor. This is an NPC, and he's pretty active, not just because he's drunk coffee, because he's dispensing it and just generally working in a coffee shop kiosk. So he's going to have better animations, he's going to be more interactive, he's going to be able to dispense drinks, all that sort of jazz. Let's see if it's any good here, because it's important for the end game of Star Citizen to have this living, breathing universe and everything to look great. Is it important here? Well, maybe in some situations. Let's just see what we're given. They've also recently added a new feature, the 3.17 Space Station Clinic variations, so additional modules to add variety to existing space clinics and additional layouts so that every space station in Stanton will have a unique layout. Sort of makes sense, give them a bit more interest there. The Hull A and Scorpius are planned for 3.17, but they are not yet committed for the patch. Hopefully, we'll get a confirmation by early March. Alpha 3.18 still has Salvage on its features, and in fact, Cloud Imperium have gone, well actually, this is what we mean by Salvage, sort of reconfirming and reiterating on it. So hopefully it will actually turn up for 3.18. The initial release of Salvage will include hull stripping and repair by hand using FPS tools, as well as hull stripping using the upcoming Drake Vulture, so ship hull stripping and hand-based hull stripping. Hopefully they will hit the target of having that in-game for Q2 this year. Oh, very excited for that. So, we've also had a load of features added to the progress tracker. Please remember that features on the progress tracker may need additional work. They're not currently targeted for a specific patch, and their schedules and targets sort of might change because they are just that, they are targets. They might need additional work, they might need more polish, all that sort of jazz. With that in mind, I think the thing here that is going to cause the most hype for a lot of people, just because I see it mentioned all the time, is the addition of the RSI Apollo on the progress tracker. It's getting a 22-week work sprint from the US vehicle content team that wraps up in December of this year. potentially anyway. We won't see the Apollo in game in 2022, but we could certainly see it next year, and maybe towards the last quarter of 2022 is when we'll start seeing updates on it and like pictures of it and like, ooh, look at the grey box work, look at the beyond that work. The Tumble Ranger is getting work as part of a 34-week sprint. So this is the actual wheeled bike that a lot of people have been asking for. That sprint ends in December as well. So again, it's not going to be a 2022 release, but we could see it early 2023. Some other features here: zone handling, implementing back-end solutions to help designers easily define which zone an object should be spawned in, to be merged into all existing tools and workflows, with an initial focus on cinematic tools. Work for this appears to have already been completed. Entity properties plugin, improving entity property handling to easily adjust properties for multiple entries at the same time, decreasing iteration for designers. This is a major update to the old ways of handling the entity properties, which was pretty limited and hard to extend. This is projected for completion by mid-March of this year. Distortion propagation, further work on the damage type to allow correct propagation into systems. This makes the location of impact much more important, as powered items closer to the impact will begin to suffer more severely. This will fulfill the original vision we had for the distortion weapons we already have in game, and those we have planned for the future. So this is currently planned to be completed by December by the weapon feature team. Physics rope simulation. Extend the simulation algorithm of ropes to support ropes interacting with pulleys and improve general stability to enable the development of new gameplay mechanics. So it's actually going to have some tangible in-game play rather than just be a cool looking thing, if you see what I mean. The physics team have already completed the work on this that they had planned for it. Underground facilities. Adding new underground facilities to the game is here. Traversable areas offering gameplay opportunities in corporate industrial environments. So this could be on sort of ArcCorp, this could be Area 18, this could be Orison, this could be loads of other places, I suppose. This deliverable has been added to the location concept art team schedule for completion by the end of June, and because it's concept art, obviously it's going to need a load more work before it's in game. Satellites, points of interest, populating the game universe with explorable satellite locations that serve as points of interest for players. Again, this is concept art work, so it will obviously need to then be developed further, but that's got work completed, or at least targeted for the end of December. Lawville Cityscape, a rework of the Lawville skyline to better fit the scale of the city and its distinctive buildings. Once again, this is the location concept art team, but it's got completion for that for the end of June. We've got room depressurization, creating the ability for players to increase or decrease atmospheric pressure in a defined closed room. That sounds really cool and interesting. Is this going to see explosive decompressions? Is this just going to see effects or whatever when a hull or a door is opened and it shouldn't be, or it goes vacuumed into space or whatever? This has got the EUPU gameplay team working on it, and it's scheduled for completion at the end of December. We've got cave archetypes, expanding the experience of traversing caves by creating more variety and developing new challenges. Now, we heard about this in Inside Star Citizen recently. They know they've got lots of different cave types that they want to build out with, like desert caves and acidic caves, ice caves, all that sort of stuff. The setup of caves will also make them more efficient for use in the creation of future caves. This has work targeted for completion by the end of December. Cloud Imperium also released a public roadmap companion, basically explaining that the progress tracker is their roadmap focus at the moment, and that things change in development, and dates and schedules are targets, and delays can happen even if something's committed potentially, and work complete doesn't necessarily mean feature complete. It has to go into the Squadron 42 pipeline typically and then get refined. Then they don't want to release sort of features in isolation either. They want gameplay to be associated with that, and a good amount of the parts of the sort of pie to be completed before dishing it out. It's all stuff that I would expect people to probably know if they've been following Star Citizen's development for any length of time, but I suppose not everyone might know, and it's good to have Cloud Imperium actually put it down somewhere so you can refer to it for sure, because there's more and more people checking out Star Citizen every day. Anyway, that's it for your roadmap update today, but what do you think? Would you like Cloud Imperium to give a bit more sort of attention to that roadmap and go, well, actually, we're planning to update and add some bits to it? Like, would you like to see more context on the progress tracker like I would, especially if they're only going to start showing one major patch out for the release view. Obviously there's going to be a load on the progress tracker, and they're going to be talking a load about more features for well beyond the next quarter, but the release view won't show what's sort of targeted for the next quarters beyond that. Do you expect Salvage to actually be in 3.18, or will it get delayed again at the last hurdle? Does Alpha 3.17 seem meaty enough for you in terms of additional gameplay and features? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Mummy, my friend told me at school today that Star Citizen was a scam. Oh, Tim, is that why you got into a fight? Yes, Mummy. The only scam is people stealing all your internet infos and blocking your ability to watch things on Netflix and such with regional-based access. That's why we use our words, Tim. You should have told those bullies to get NordVPN, and also that Star Citizen is the best damn space sim ever.
Yes, these two people are right. Get NordVPN, and also Star Citizen's great. Also, Timmy was a 35-year-old teacher at the school. And it wasn't even a school, it was a pub, and he was a barman. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and for February 2022, it's for an Aegis Saber, the high-tech medium fighter with loads of firepower, but it comes in an auspicious red paint scheme as part of the Red Festival, as well as lifetime insurance and a Star Citizen game package. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning is comment on any of my videos made during the month. You can further support the channel by clicking the join button underneath any of my videos. You can also donate or become a Patreon. Your feedback, though, from comments really helps the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, if you're looking for a diegetic little controlly boy that makes your Star Citizen experience and potentially some other games pretty good fun on your touchscreen devices, then check out Game Glass. You've got that, you've got NordVPN links, you've got loads of other stuff, all in the links below. Click them all! Click them all! Maybe not all of them, that would be madness.